Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Teresa Giudice and Giudice, dragged as desperate and embarrassing for selling used handbags. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice and her daughter, Giudice, are being dragged for their latest gig. Amid an uncertain future on retort, Teresa has been teaming up with Gia to up their influencer game. The mother and daughter duo recently took to TikTok to sell some used handbags in a video that many are calling embarrassing. To say their selling skills need work is an understatement because the footage is beyond awkward. Gia can be seen looking at cue cards, while Teresa definitely seems to be acting from a bad script. The TikTok account at YourMomSareWatching shared the video of Gia and Teresa slinging their designer handbags but added a Saturday Night Live twist at the end to make fun of them. Teresa Giudice and Giudice, dragged for selling used handbags. The comments section of the TikTok video was filled with critics coming for Teresa and Gia over their newest money-making endeavor. "They seem desperate," wrote one critic, and another stated, "It's giving me We Are Broke vibes." Another critic joked they were the Jersey version of the popular shopping channel QVC. Gia getting a Porsche was also mentioned, suggesting she spent her money a bit too soon. Desperate Housewives read a comment while another echoed a similar sentiment, saying, "Desperate times." The mother and daughter duo were called out for being desperate and embarrassing more than once. "I'm so embarrassed for them," declared a critic, with a different one adding, "How embarrassing." A commenter commented that Joe and Melissa Gorga would never do such a thing. Teresa and Gia were also compared to Kim Zolciak and Brielle Bierman. More critics joked about Melissa not stooping so low and making fun of the way Teresa spoke. Teresa's husband, Louis Ruiz, was brought into the shade being thrown at them too. "Louis must have spent all her money," wrote a critic, while one critic said, "Selling these handbags to pay for Lovey's debt is atrocious." Gia, putting off law school, was also used to make fun of her, as was her reading off of cue cards. RHONG star Teresa Giudice plans to open a restaurant. As Monsters and Critics previously reported, Teresa encouraged Gia to take a break before law school to focus on other things. One of those things happens to be helping Teresa open a restaurant. Teresa and Gia have been scouting locations recently, hoping to secure one by the end of the year. The mother and daughter seem determined to pursue various business ventures together, as their future on The Real Housewives of New Jersey remains in the air. We all know season 15 of RHONG has been put on pause, and despite recent claims that Jennifer Aydin is returning, Andy Cohen confirmed no casting decisions have been made. In the meantime, Teresa Giudice and her daughter Giudice are keeping busy and making money by hawking used designer handbags on social media. In a world where reality stars are defined by glamour and lavish displays of wealth, the Giudice family, particularly Teresa and her daughter Gia, has never been one to shy away from opulence. So when they began selling pre-owned designer handbags on social media, fans and critics alike were quick to comment. For some, it was a practical and approachable side hustle. For others, it bordered on desperation. The debate escalated and the internet found itself divided, with hashtags like #HandbagGate circulating, sparking a range of reactions that Teresa and Gia may not have anticipated. It all began on a casual Friday evening when Gia posted an Instagram story featuring a neatly organized row of designer bags, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Gucci among them. The caption read, "Selling some favorites. DM for inquiries." Within hours, Teresa joined her daughter, posting a similar story on her account. While some followers showed immediate interest, many others were stunned. In the world of The Real Housewives, showcasing affluence is par for the course, but actively selling possessions was almost unheard of. One comment read, "Selling used bags? You'd think these people were struggling or something." Another followed swiftly, "Embarrassing. They're supposed to be living the luxe life, not pawning their bags." Twitter soon lit up, with fans questioning why one of the most recognizable faces on The Real Housewives of New Jersey would stoop to such a lowly practice. Teresa, however, has never been one to back down from criticism. For years she's handled public scrutiny with a thick skin. But this time, fans saw something different, a softer, more pragmatic side to her. In an attempt to silence the ridicule, she addressed the situation directly during an Instagram live session, joined by Gia, who sat by her mother's side with a somewhat amused smile. "Listen," Teresa began, "this is not about money. Gia and I have so many beautiful things that we just don't use anymore, and they're sitting there, collecting dust. Why not let other people enjoy them? I mean, why let these pieces go to waste?" Gia nodded in agreement, chiming in, "It's sustainable too, you know. Instead of people buying brand new, they can buy gently loved pieces and still get the luxury without all the packaging waste." The live session seemed to temporarily cool the backlash, with some fans praising them for their approach to recycling fashion. Teresa's point about sustainability struck a chord, as more people questioned why resale culture was okay for influencers and regular folks, but somehow taboo for a reality star. Yet the internet remained torn. Some couldn't shake the feeling that Teresa and Gia were trying to recover from financial trouble. This wasn't the first time the Giudice family had faced questions about money. In fact, their brushes with financial instability had been fodder for tabloids for years. Teresa's previous legal troubles had already made headlines when she and her now ex-husband Joe were charged with fraud, and Teresa even served prison time, a reality that fans of the show hadn't forgotten. The handbag scandal was just another layer in what many saw as a desperate attempt to maintain appearances. Despite the negativity, the Giudices persisted, with Gia posting more handbags to her story, often adding little anecdotes about each piece. "This one I got in Paris for my mom's birthday," she shared in one post. "It has so many memories but just doesn't go with my style anymore." She added a heart emoji, giving it a personal touch. Surprisingly, a loyal fanbase emerged around the sales, appreciating the fact that these bags weren't just any luxury items. They were once owned by reality TV royalty. People who purchased from Teresa and Gia started sharing photos of their new acquisitions, creating a trend under the hashtag #Giudicedoms. Soon it wasn't just about resale, it was about owning a small part of the Real Housewives universe, and that allure was powerful enough to convert even a few initial skeptics. However, the critiques remained relentless in certain corners of the internet. Comment sections on Housewives fan pages were peppered with words like desperate and embarrassing. Some fans posted screenshots of the handbag listings, adding sarcastic captions like "from prison to pre-owned Prada." Others argued that they were only trying to maintain a high-profile lifestyle, despite financial difficulties, calling it a sad commentary on their life in the spotlight. Gia, known for her sharp wit and thick skin, didn't hesitate to fire back. She posted a response on her TikTok, where she directly addressed the trolls. "You all act like we're selling our bags to survive," she said with a smirk. "Ever heard of minimalism? Some people don't like clutter. Shocker, right?" The video, complete with eye rolls and her signature sass, instantly went viral. While some fans cheered her on, others labeled the reaction defensive, adding that the tone only underscored their belief that something deeper was happening behind the scenes. In response to the ongoing drama, Teresa hinted during a recent interview that this resale effort was just the beginning of a larger business endeavor. "Gia and I are working on something exciting, and this is just a small taste of what's to come," she teased. "We want to share our style with our fans and offer pieces that they can actually afford and enjoy." This revelation softened the narrative slightly. What initially looked like a desperate attempt to raise money or maintain appearances was now reframed as a strategic move towards launching a brand that would bring a piece of the Giudice lifestyle to the masses. Many fans began to see the initiative as a potential game-changer in the Housewives world, a way for Teresa and Gia to create an empire based on something relatable. The saga of Teresa and Gia's handbag sales turned into a microcosm of reality TV fame. It was about more than just accessories, it represented the blurred line between reality and entertainment. In selling their designer bags, Teresa and Gia inadvertently opened a discussion about celebrity, wealth, and the demands of fame. The handbags, once symbols of wealth, had become something else entirely, tokens of survival, resilience, and reinvention. By the end of the month, the buzz around #Handbagate had simmered down, with both fans and critics waiting eagerly to see what Teresa and Gia would do next. They'd stirred the pot, as they always did, sparking heated discussions in living rooms and online forums alike. But true to form, they seemed unfazed, walking through the storm of opinions with their heads held high. After all, if there's one thing the Giudices have proven, it's that they're adept at turning even the harshest criticism into fuel for their next act.